Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day as always. My name is Michael and thank you for joining me. So today I have two very simple questions that I want to ask you because it pertains to how successful we're going to be in our long run with our jobs and our income. Now, as you can tell by the title, these two questions are very simple, and pardon my French here, but number one, do you give a shit about your job? And number two, are you good at your job? And the reason why I want to talk about this today is because last week I experienced something that is directly going to impact how much money I make this month. And while I did a good job on something, I'm not going to make as much money because of what someone else had done in the past. And this is not a video about blaming the previous person. You know, this stuff happens every now and then, but I want to tie it in to the channel because it's so elementary, right? If you are good at your job, if you care about your job, more than likely that is going to have positive implications for how much money you make at that job, and even future jobs for that matter. Okay, so let me start off by saying this. Here's what happened to me last week. I had reached out to someone who was selling their homes. They were trying to sell it by themselves, right? They don't want to pay the realtor commission. They want to see, hey, can I do this on my own and save a little bit of money? Totally understandable and reasonable thing to do. But I reached out and she was okay meeting us, letting us go over what we can do for them as realtors that they can't do for themselves. Had a great conversation, but she started off the entire conversation saying, hey, heads up, and just to be totally blunt, I had a horrible experience with this brokerage in the past. Okay, the last agent that I worked with promised me the moon. They said they were going to work so hard for me. They worked very hard to earn their business, but after they actually got their business, they never heard from them ever again. There was very little communication. Absolutely did not really work to sell her house in the same way that they did working hard to get their business. So we actually came into this situation already with like a negative mark against us because of the work that this previous agent had done. Right? Even though we work for the same brokerage, right, and this brokerage has tens of thousands of employees, right, just because they had one negative experience with the previous person, we have to suffer the consequences. And we actually ended up losing their business, right? She said that there was nothing that we could have done better. Our presentation was great. We were very friendly. We were very personable. Nothing that we did went wrong, but she had such a negative experience with the previous agent that she doesn't want to do business with this brokerage. And so the reason why I bring up these two questions are, do you even give a shit about your job? Why would you do a job at all if you don't care about it, right? And even if you don't necessarily love what you're doing, why would you not give your best effort at your job if that's what makes you money? If you need a paycheck to live month to month, week to week, whatever it is, if you depend on a paycheck, why would you not give everything you can to that job? Why would you not be as good as you possibly can be? And if you're at all working a job that involves you working directly with other people, why would you not want to give them the best experience you can, right? And it doesn't make sense to me, and it frustrates me, right? Because you're ruining it for so many other people. And I say you, not accusing you watching this video, but those that do this, they're ruining it for everyone else. I don't care if you work drive-through. I don't care if you are a CEO of a company. I don't care if you are I don't care what job you're doing. Put in your best effort, right? I used to deliver pizzas. I worked at a grocery store. I worked at a credit union. I now work as a realtor. I've done a lot of things, and in every one of those instances, I cared about what it was that I was doing. I'm not saying like I was the best worker there ever has been, but I just cared about my job. I tried to do my best to make everything that I did as good as I could have made it, right? I made the customer experience as good as possible. When I worked at the credit union, I literally had the members' best interests in mind when I was trying to help them either build credit or lower their interest rates or educate them. So again, I want to tie this back to the question, do you care about your job? And you know, I'll be the first one to say I've had times where I didn't necessarily enjoy what I was doing. I ultimately quit the credit union because I was just so burnt out and tired of doing the same thing. I had to do something different. I had to get out. But even until the very last day of my job, I tried to be as successful as I could possibly be, right? And you know, maybe it's because I've always worked kind of like a commission job, and I want to work hard because the harder I work, the more people I help, the more money I make, right? There's an incentive for me. Even when I didn't work a commission job, like when I was a pizza guy or I worked at the grocery store, I still wanted to be as successful as possible because the more successful I was, right, the boss was going to like me more, the better my raises were going to be, the faster my promotions would have come. So yeah, I want to be as successful. I actually gave a damn about my job. Now, the other question I want to ask is, are you good at your job? Because maybe you care about your job. Maybe you really are someone that's motivated to do as well as you possibly can, but you're just not there yet, right? You know, and most people, when they're first starting a job, are that way. You want to do as good as you possibly can, but you're just not there yet. A really good example of this comes from when I was working at the credit union, right? There were a lot of personal bankers out there that were genuinely nice, kind people and only wanted what was best for kind of the client that was in front of them. They would do everything they can to help them out, but they didn't necessarily know everything they could do to help them out, right? So if someone came in, let's say asking for a personal loan, right, because they needed to cover whatever situation they could, right, they thought, oh yeah, well let me take care of what they're asking for. They asked for a personal loan, that's what I should get them. Let's say they got it approved, right? Maybe they got a $10,000 personal loan that was charging them like 16% interest. And here they are thinking, oh, I did a good job because I did what they asked for. All right, well that's one way of doing it. I would always try to find, well, yeah, I could do that, but did you know you could do this? And this would be a much lower interest rate. So if I could find a way to do it in like a different loan structure, and maybe they're only paying like 6% interest, right? I didn't necessarily do what they asked for, but I offered them a different solution that saved them more money, right? And so I did everything that I could to be good at my job and learn everything I can on how to do things as efficiently as possible and have, again, the person's best interest in mind, right? Both of us, in both situations, we cared about the person in front of us, but one of us knew more than the other did, therefore we were able to help them out more. I will fully say this right now, I'm not a great realtor because I don't have enough experience yet. Yeah, I'm more than willing to help you out, right? I'm more than willing to learn as much as I possibly can about this industry. That way I can help out as much as possible, but I'm not great yet. I'm not even a good realtor yet. I'm not bad, but I'm not good either. So how would you classify yourself right now? Would you say that you're great at what you do, or is there room for improvement? And I think there's always room for improvement, but either way, are you trying to improve? Are you trying to get better at your craft, at your position, at your own business? Who knows if you're the owner and you run your own company? Are you always trying to find out how to get better, or are you just not motivated in that way? Now, I'm assuming that if you watch the channel, you're probably someone who is motivated and you want to learn as much as possible, because you don't watch this channel for entertainment value. You're trying to learn, you're trying to grow. I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to grow. And so the reason why I wanted to talk about this today was just because of that experience I had. It's frustrating, and I know a lot of people may counter and say, well, you didn't do a good enough job, because if you were good enough, you would have overcome that. And to a certain degree, I think you're right. But again, it's still something that I wanted to share. If you guys have anything that you want to share, definitely make sure to put a comment in the comment section down below. I'm always curious to know what other people do. Like I said, I've tried to share as much about my work history as I can. The majority of my 20s I spent working at that credit union, and I received a lot of promotion and raises, and I would go so far as to say I made a good living. I definitely wasn't hurting as far as income was concerned, but I left to go do something that I'd always want to do and kind of be my own boss and go down that route. But during that time, I still wanted to be as great as I can be. And that's what I want to do for my future endeavors here with real estate. But either way, that's what I want to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. You guys know what to do. But take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. And to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.